Amigos de México, me da muchísimo gusto tener enfrente de mí a una de las artistas más grandes que tiene el mundo, el planeta entero en este momento. Y sé que me entiende y me da mucho gusto porque esa sonrisa implica que me está entendiendo. Y está Billie Eilish con nosotros. Un aplauso de todos los presentes aquí en este lugar. Big applause. Billie Eilish, México, señoras y señores.
Thank you very
Y estoy happy, contento de tenerte aquí. Te dije que yo soy como un pocho. I'm like a pocho. You're from LA, a lot of pochos over there. Okay? Let's start with the interview with you. I love your video, your Shihiro video.
Thank you.
And you directed the video.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I love it. I love that video. That one specifically was one of my favorites to do. It was like, honestly, one of the best days ever, let alone music videos. It was so much fun, and I got to have a friend in it, which was amazing. And it was like such a long process of figuring out what the video was gonna be and how we were gonna do it all in one day. And I also only had one day to do it because I was gonna leave to go to New York the day after for the album release. So it was a lot to fit in one day, but we did it, and it was a really fun process. That was one of my favorites to direct, I think.
Can you share with us some special moment of the video? For example, when the end of the video, the actor pulls your leg and they say, "Come on, stop! It's Billie Eilish."
Well, it's funny because I had that idea to have somebody tackle me in a field, like a male figure tackling me in a field and then dragging me through grass. That was like that was the visual that was like in my head as soon as I was thinking about a video for that song. And I automatically thought of my friend Nat, who's in the video, but I remember like talking about it with the team, and it was like, they were kind of like, yeah, but you should probably hire like a stunt person because then they'll be able to tackle you in a way that isn't real. Like it's not gonna actually hurt and you'll be fine. And then you can like, kind of mime the fighting stuff and the like wrestling stuff. And I specifically was like, no, I want it to be my friend because I know that he'll actually tackle the hell out of me in that field. And then we'll wrestle in the grass, and then, it kind of was exactly what I wanted. And we were both left very, very bruised up. I mean, he messed his wrist up like forever on that shoot, and I messed my neck up, and like we had bruises all over us. But it was really worth it. It was really fun.
Incredible job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I'm more for radio. Do you remember the first time you heard your music in radio?
Yes, I do. I
When?
was, honestly, it was, I think I was 14. I think I had just turned 14, or maybe I was still 13. I'm not sure. It was maybe about a month or so after we put out Ocean Eyes, and I think it was...
Remember the station?
I think it was, what was it, KCRW, I think? I'm not sure. But I remember sitting in my room with both my parents and my brother all standing, like, waiting, and I had this little, like, speaker that I used to plug my phone in, but it also had radio stations, and we were all kind of like waiting and seeing, and because we had been told it was going to be playing. And then I remember hearing the intro. It was like, and this is Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish, and we all screamed and jumped around. It was really cool. So yeah.
And I love the album. I love Hit Me Hard and Soft album.
Thank you.
I love Lunch.
Thank you.
Shihiro. How do you feel with the album in your life?
I love it. I feel really good. Before it came out, I've loved it since, honestly, I've loved it for the entire making of it, which is interesting because for a lot of the making of it, I was really nervous about it because I didn't know if it was good or not, or if I just liked it. And that was scary to me. And then there was like a moment where I was so worried about, oh no, people aren't gonna like this. What if people don't like this? And I remember somebody saying, like, Billie, do you like it? Because that's what matters. And even though that's such an obvious thing that everybody knows, it's like, sometimes you forget. You just naturally, your body is like, we're all inclined to people please kind of in a way. And I think when I realized that, I felt a lot of relief. And then finished the album in a way of whatever it is fine because I really love it. But I was like, I think my people might hate it, and maybe it's bad, and I don't know what's gonna happen. And I remember playing it for my team and like my label, and I remember them saying that it was my best album yet. And I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? And then when it came out, I was so nervous and scared, and I didn't know what anyone was going to think. And it was the best reaction I've ever gotten for anything I've ever put out. And that was a surprise to me and really amazing and just so special. And I'm just so grateful. It's been so cool, really.
It's incredible. You're 22 and you're the youngest artist to win 2 Oscars and a lot of awards. And how do you feel? When you finish the new album, you think awards?
I know it's like easy for me to say because I have awards, but the truth is like, that's not why you do this stuff, you know?
2 Oscars of 2 different movies.
2 Oscars.
Wow.
Those are pretty cool. Those are, I feel very proud of those.
But James Bond and Barbie,
right,
wow.
Right, but even that stuff, like, that's not why you do it, you know? It's just not. And if you're doing things for awards and for, I don't know, an applause, I don't even know how to put it. It's more like if you're doing things for external validation, that's only gonna last so long. You know, you can't really like derive like a lot of pleasure out of that. And especially you can't if you then lose or if then somebody doesn't like it. And so I think that I like to keep in mind whenever awards come up, because I'm like, that's awesome, but you know, I can't rely on other people's opinions of what I do to matter to me. It doesn't, you know? But it is really amazing, and I'm so lucky, and I can't even believe that people have like, I don't know. It's just nice to have the validation of that. But again, you don't need it, but it definitely feels good. It's hard to like tell you how I'm like grateful, but I'm also like, you don't need it, but I'm also like, it's awesome. But anyway.
If we're talking about the passions, I think dancing is one of your passions.
Yes. Yeah, I grew up as a dancer. I danced for my whole childhood, and it's really the thing that I wanted to do with my life, and that I totally thought I would do with my life. I never thought my life would turn into what it did. I'm so grateful that it did, but yeah, dancing was like my thing. I still do dance, just not the way that I used to. I really miss it. I think about it a lot. Yeah.
As a songwriter, what is your writing process? Do you use paper, cell phone? Do you drink tea, coffee?
It really does change, but it used to be a notebook. I used to write only in a notebook and draw a lot of pictures when I wrote. And now I write a lot on my phone. I do write in a notebook. I do still do that occasionally, but not the way that I used to. I'm also like a really slow writer, so if I do write in a notebook, it's gonna take me twice as long, and my brain is moving really quickly and my hand is not. So then it's like kind of it just doesn't, it's not very productive for me. And
you
again,
feel pressure?
I just am like I'm not a writer. I'm not a physical writer. I'm not a fast writer. I'm not a good writer. My handwriting is bad. I'm like not a fast reader or writer. Those are 2 things that I'm like have never been really good at.
Do you record ideas in the cell phone?
Yeah, and then I type them on my phone. But yeah, I do record a lot of them. And then also we use a handheld mic in the room, and when we're writing, we just have it recording on the computer already, so it picks up everything that I come up with. And then in terms of like day and night, like it's always different. It's just like inspiration really hits you when it hits you, so you kind of have to just take advantage of it whenever it is. Sometimes it's the middle of the night, who knows?
What open eyes mean to you in this moment?
Ocean eyes. It means so much to me. I mean, it was like my first like real moment. And also without Ocean Eyes, I would be kind of nowhere. I mean, none of this probably would have happened without that song. That was my intro into all of this. So I'm like eternally grateful for it. And I also love that song. And when I listen to it, I feel so Like, I don't feel like, oh, cringy, I'm young. You know, I think, oh, I love this song, and this gave me my life, and it's amazing. I'm grateful.
When I see the video, the Shihira video, I think in, hey, Billie, it can be a great actress. Can you think in be an actress in someday?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do that. I've done a little acting, and I mean, when I was a kid, I loved acting, and both my parents were actors, and my brother was an actor. And yeah, it's funny, I was always like, the singing and the music was always the underlining like part, but I really did love acting. Like acting, dancing, those were the things that I loved, and singing, But yeah, I did want to be an actor when I was a kid, and then I was so frustrated by it because so I was just like, instead of being like, I wish I could, I was just like, I'm not gonna do it, I don't wanna do it. But I've done some acting now, and it's amazing, and I would love to do more.
Hey, Mexico loves you.
I love
outside
Mexico.
A lot of fans, and everywhere where you go, a lot of fans. What do you think about Mexico? What do you like more of Mexico?
Oh my God, I love Mexico. I've had so many good times here. I just, honestly, like the fans are they're so raw. They're such deep feelers and such passionate people, and it's amazing to witness. I would love to, you know, be here for longer. I'm always here for like 2 days or less. And it's so beautiful. I would love to like actually experience the place and go and do things and eat and, you know, explore. And I would love to like take some friends and like actually come here for real. But I love my Mexican fans, and I'm always happy when I'm here, and I love seeing their faces, and I can't wait to come back and tour again here.
Can you say hello to all your friends in XFM? XFM, please.
Yes, hello to all of my fans in XFM. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, of course.